The dev team really wants to make the programming section better, depending on what everybody kind of looks at, whether it's mainly focused on the program section and kind of blending that with a way that the WOD calendar works, whatever it looks like. They can pretty much build anything. We just need to give them very exact and very specific things that we want and need, and then show a business use case out of it. So as I show you stuff today, if there's certain things that you'd really like to see that would benefit you and your clients, please chime in and let me know on those things, because I'm your advocate with that, as well as our success team that gets all of your questions and concerns. We meet every Monday to talk about those things. And then as we have a really good, clear plan, we start to implement them and kind of put them in a list of priority based upon what people have been asking for and what's possible to actually build out. And I think the next big things on the list are the program section. So I'll go over that part. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to chime in and or just put them in the chat box, and then I'll stop periodically and check out the chat box as we go. All right, I'm going to show my screen here. And I'm going to start by going over the way that the WOD calendar is set up. And then because it's obviously, if you've been using it, it's a little bit more simplistic, a little bit easier to use depending on how you want to use it. And I'll explain some things that are potentially on the board, but we're kind of discussing it. So what we're going to focus on now is this manage program section. Oh, excuse me, post-workout section. Apologize. So first and foremost, calendars. You can have as many calendars as you would like to have on each one of these. You can manage the calendar here. And you can name these whatever you want. The big thing that I personally like about it, depending on how your programming is set up, you can set a default template. So depending on your programming, how you like to program, how you're using these calendars, because I've seen gym owners use it a few different ways. I've had some that have, let's say you want a different leaderboard, for example, for the strength part, the Metcon part, and then maybe extra credit. Or if your programming has different sections in it for strength or competition, or I know when I owned the CrossFit gyms, we had a general fitness track, right? A performance track, and then a beyond track. This would be a really easy, and we followed the leaderboard accordingly. And that was one of the things that we always did inside of this, where we had put the general track, the beyond track, and the beyond performance track in here, just so people can click on it and go from there. I've also seen it be like in gym, at home with dumbbell, and then at home with without any equipment. But you can use these however you like. Once you get these set up, you can set up the default template, a default title if you like to do so. Inside of this, lack of better terms, it's like a glorified Excel spreadsheet and Word document. But you could add different tables. You can change different things in here, add special characters, different headers, all kinds of stuff, basically like a basic content block, which is super cool to do. Now, the one thing that I'm going to show you that a lot of people don't quite use it for, but we personally do. But you can put videos inside of it. You can also put hyperlinks to different videos. Another good one in here is like refer a friend. If you have a refer a friend form or something, or an announcement or purchase, you can have it here. The one other thing, you can even put affiliate links in here. This is technically an affiliate link. So if they click on that and go to Rogue and buy something, you get a percentage of it. We can talk about that stuff. The one thing that, leaderboard, you can do a default score enabled if you want to have it in there or not. These are the 3 categories that we currently have in here. However, you can label this whatever you want. So let's just say reps, and let's say this is, instead of reps, let's say it's calories, right? Calories on the rower. Now the leaderboard will say that, opposed to count reps and so on and so forth. You can split the leaderboard into gender, and you can make it lowest to highest. Now, one thing that has been asked multiple times is different types of scoring for the leaderboard. If you want us to, and the dev team says it all the time, the biggest thing is we need to know what that scoring looks like that you're asking for, and then how it's exactly calculated. I know there's one out there that is, I can't remember the exact scoring on it, but they wanted to track the weights and reps as well. And the dev team didn't know exactly who would be first, who would be second, who would be third, who would be where. So we came up with the calculation, hey, if we're going to implement that, well, it's whoever moves the most weight is the one that's going to be on top, right? So that was just a really short example, but if you have other ideas on how to track the leaderboard or different options of tracking the leaderboard, let me know what those are. You can put them in the chat. You can send me a message, or when I post this in our Facebook group, you can post underneath of it and say, hey, I would like a leaderboard option that tracks this, and this is how it's calculated for first, second, third, and fourth, and so on and so forth. Another thing, now, once you use these calendars, it looks something like this. Oh, hold on. To the member itself. So the WOD calendar, whichever one that they click, I'm just going to click burn. It would have all the links, the hyperlinks, all that stuff. You can play around with this format, move it around, change it. This is where the leaderboard is, so they can submit to it, right? Right now, if somebody wanted to see that leaderboard or the history of that leaderboard, they would have to go to that day, right? Which I know is not quite ideal. So we're working on a way to, when they implement that scoreboard, to be able to re-look at it or look at a history of it, kind of like in the program section. Now, the other thing, this is just a recommendation. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. But a lot of people, let's say you're doing a 1 rep max and you wanted to record their 1 rep max from this section. One of the things that I've been showing is, we're just going to do, let's see here, back squat. Inside the mobile, the Progressive Web app, just an FYI, all of them have a link that will go directly to that particular page. So let's say I wanted to use the WOD calendar and I wanted them to actually track their 1 rep max for the back squat. They can either do the weights, do the workout, and then they can go over, click on records, click on maxes, find back squat, and then type in their number, right? And then hit submit, and it saves it. But you can also just take that link, and we're just going to say, let's see, what day is this? We're going to go to burn. Burn, there we go. We're going to go to the 9th. So this is today's workout. And I'm just going to say, header 2 in bold, record. And I'm just going to take that link. I'm going to hyperlink it. Boom. I'm going to hit save. So now they go to do their workout. They click on WOD. They're like, yep. They're going to do it. Oh, look at that. And then it takes them immediately to the place to log the workout. Just a kind of a super simple way to make it a little bit more efficient for the clients. But you can do that for everything. Even another example of that is we sell a lot of t-shirts. So let's just say you're doing a pre-order for a hoodie or a t-shirt or something like that. We can put that same thing in the workout section. I'm just going to hyperlink it.
Off topic, do you get your hoodies and stuff done online or locally?
We have ours locally.
Okay.
There is a I know this is a topic for or a subject for another time, but there's a really cool. It doesn't integrate with the payment part with FitHive. However, I've seen people create a Printful on-demand store that links to Shopify, and Shopify has a really cool not a webhook, but a really cool HTML code that there it is. See if I still have it active. Yeah. So this is, it looks like FitHive and on your website, and people can just buy whatever they want. And technically it's Shopify linked to Printful. So if they hit checkout, put in their information, Shopify can use your Stripe account. So it still takes the deposits, but then Printful receives the order, prints out a label for that looks like your facility, and then they print and ship it, which is pretty cool. But that's actually one of the topics I want to go over because a lot of people ask for it. But yeah, you can post workouts. So this is extremely flexible with how you want to use it as you go. Now, one of the other questions that we have, and we're kind of internally talking about it depending on where the focus should be. But one big thing that people ask for is being able to lock the WOD calendars down based upon membership type. So one of the things that's being discussed is kind of just adding an option down here that's like WOD calendar, yes or no. So that's one thought process that's going around on it. But as it sits right now, one of the ways that I've had gym owners that, especially if they're selling it online or something like that, kind of switch it up and change it. They use the WOD viewer, right? So you have this little link. You can do the WOD viewer. You can pick which calendar, right, that you want to show on that page. You can do all kinds of different stuff here. Allow them to go forward or backwards any days. But the biggest thing here is you can make this a landing page and break it down to access only. So let's say somebody has a membership to that particular track. And let's just say, I don't know, it's this one. Now, once that's saved, once that's saved, what they'll do, let's say you have 3 different workout tracks that you only want certain people to be able to see. What they've done is they've gone into settings, dashboard, not the global dashboard because that'll go on, well, I guess you could if you wanted to. I'll just do it here because it's easier. But we're just going to pick that page, and we're going to do track 1. All right. Oh, I'm going to give it a cool button. Oh, sure, I'll make it a blue button. And then I'm going to, let's just say I did a second WAD viewer, and that was track. Track 2, and I'm going to give it another button. Okay. I'm going to hit save. And if you're going to use the WAD tracks like this in the mobile app, you would just want to remove the WADs. So now, if somebody, instead of clicking over here and clicking on WAD, if they wanted to see the workout, they would just click there, and they would take them to that page. But because this is technically a web page, it's locked down based upon membership access. So now only certain members with certain accesses can actually access those workouts. This is technically a live link. However, if they take that live link and send it to someone, they would have to still log in as them, just like they're going through the app, to get access to it. So in the short term, if you wanted to lock down the WAD calendars, that's one way of doing it through the WAD viewer. And then you could literally have different memberships for different workout tracks, or every single one of them, or your members that are in the gym can have access to all the workouts if you wanted to. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much it for post workouts. Anybody have any questions about the post workout section or recommendations as of now?
I love the WAD just because it's built into the application. And just like you said, just having a simple toggle on and off for memberships would be fantastic, because I think the WAD calendar works as designed, and it's easy to implement different calendars like you have. And having that content box where you can add links and add, tables and all that stuff is very easy. And, at this stage of the game, I know that's why we're here, but the programs don't have that much to offer, in terms of customizing and all that jazz. So, for me in my business, just that membership selection is huge. So that's just my input for the WAD calendar itself. And one more, to be able to, how we can see, if you go to post workouts and you click on one of these calendars, you see the entire month, right? To be able to implement, see the entire month, and they, to have a client to be able to see that side as well and be able to click on a specific day is very helpful too. So like, what if they want to go back to like last week's, instead of clicking, the back button 8 times, they would be able to just open up the calendar, click on that specific day, and go right to it.
Does anybody else have feedback on that? I think that'd be beneficial. Let's see here. Let me put that back in. WAD, add. So like maybe, wonder if we could maybe put something like right there where you can go forward or back or click a calendar view kind of thing.
I would think that would be like pretty helpful. Even if you're only offering a WAD like 2 or 3 days a week for a specific membership type, and then being able to go, oh, let me jump back to last Friday's workout. I think it would just be easier, more user friendly.
Cool. I will definitely bring that up for sure. All right. So next, programs. Program Builder is a little bit more complicated, but it also tracks a lot more stuff depending on how you want to set it up, how you want to use it, that kind of thing. But I'm going to start off with explaining how it's set up, and then I'll show how you build it, and then I'll explain. We've got 4 things essentially on the dev board that I'll bring up, and then we'll ask about just recommendations on what you like to use, right? So a couple of things just real quick on like the maxes and PRs, just FYI, you can track and edit and change, delete, move anything around on any one of these to make it fit what you want. It also has the ability to do this custom label based upon what you're looking to do or looking to track. These are just formats, basically. So if you do count and you wanted this to be, let's just say this is 1 minute max cal row. Obviously, we don't have calories here, so you can do calories here, right? And then every time that they go to this, it'll actually say calories opposed to reps or count. Same thing with the measurements section. You can do that same thing here for measurements. Edit these, change these, adjust these, have it track however you'd like here too. Now, in terms of the programming, a couple of things to look at here, right? You've got exercise categories, exercises, and program categories. Exercise categories and exercises are going to be mainly for the gym owner or the admin creating the accounts. But then program categories is going to be more client facing than anything else. So these program categories shows up here, right? So these can be almost like folders that hold the actual programs that you've written out into folders, so it's easy for people to find and change or adjust or move around or whatever they would like, right? This is just a folder with these programs inside of them, and then they can click on the one that they want, and then they can restart from day 1. I'm just going to restart it, and this is day 1 programming, right? So when you set out and do this, especially if you're going to have a lot of programs or a lot of workouts floating around, the way to think about the program categories is the folders that you're going to house the actual programs in for the client to see or to purchase. Okay, so if you have a lot of programs, you might want to categorize them so it's a little easier to find. Next thing, exercise categories. So exercise categories is, again, folders essentially of exercises. So it's easy for you to find when you're programming stuff, and you can have as many categories as you'd like. We've got some people that will do this for upper body, lower body, core, metcons, classes, warm-ups, cool downs, that kind of stuff. So let's say you have 10 different warm-ups that you want to constantly use, and you don't want to keep typing in to try to find them. You could create, warm-ups as a category. And then when you create the warm-ups in the videos, you can add them to that category. So you can just click on warm-ups when you go to program it, and it'll show you all the exercises that you've put in there based upon that. Then the next thing is exercises. So as you look through these exercises, there are quite a few that are pre-programmed in there, and they just go on and on and on and on. I think out of the box, if you run the wizard or have us put exercises in there, there's roughly 425 exercises. We kind of stop there because there's only so many variations that we can put in there. I highly, highly, highly recommend, though, if you're going to start using the program section, long term, I would highly recommend making your own videos or start replacing our stuff with your own branded stuff. Because we all know there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 of us on here. And if we all taught deadlift, for example, we would all teach it slightly different. None of it's right. None of it's wrong. It's just the way that we teach it based upon what we've learned in the past. So we always recommend doing that. Now, inside of each one of these, you'll notice that there is, inside the exercise, you can give it a name. You can give it a description, right? You can give it an image, a video, and then you can put it in those exercise categories so you can find it easily. And then you can add related and substitute exercises to this particular movement. Now, anything you do inside the exercise here, it will always be that way anytime you program this particular exercise. So that wasn't a good example, so I'm just going to do back squat. I mess around with it quite a bit. Perfect. So I'm going to do back squat, right? And the back squat, I could put in here, a lot of people like to know why, right? Great for core strength or great for full body strength and core condition, right? Whatever you want. And you could also put in here any notes that you would like them to remember in terms of coaching notes, especially if you're using this for online programming. I recommend putting in as many coaching notes in there as possible because they may or may not be in a position where they can watch the video or listen to the video. So you can put it in here if you have any lower back pain, lower back, we'll just say, or knee pain. You could put any modifications you want in there. Let's say to, dead ball squat, right? Or let's say, better yet, modify to squat on box. Perfect. And you can put as much in here as you would like. I've seen people put in full descriptions of the movement, the benefit of it, the modifications of it, and coaching tips on why and how, what kind of things you should look for. Put it in a particular category that you want. I think here we put it in, we're going to put it in legs. Perfect. And then down here, related and substitute exercises. You can do multiple things here. So I'm just going to do, let's see what kind of squats we got. I would always recommend putting in any squat variation that you might want them to do based upon, we're just going to Timbo squats. What else we got here? I don't have anything else in here. But another good example of how to use this is, let's say you're programming for at-home or garage gym stuff, right? You could theoretically put in here, all right, I want you to do a back squat with a barbell. If you don't have a barbell, but you have dumbbells, I want you to do front squat dumbbell work, right? If you don't have dumbbells and you got a medicine ball, do medicine ball squats. If you don't have a medicine ball and you've got a 2-year-old, do 2-year-old squats, right? Whatever it is. Or if you have knee pain, my example, right? Squat on a box, then you can put what a box squat looks like. And then when you hit save, that saves everything that you put in there. So you only have to do it once and it's saved for good. You can also do that same thing for full length classes. You just got to know where you put them. So if you record a full length class, you can embed it here, name it whatever you want. You can give a description of it, right? And put it in whatever category and save it. If you do a full length class, one really cool example that I think would benefit at the end is, let's say you're doing a class and constitutes 5 different movements, right? Let's just say inside of that class, you record it and you embed the video there. And then down here, I'm going to put in, we did floor presses because the class included it. We're going to squat. We did front squats. Sit up. I don't know what these are, but we did those things. And we did, let's see here, burpees. Ooh, that looks terrible. 100-meter run plus 10 burpees. Okay, so that was the class, right? But once I hit save, I never have to touch it again every time I program it. But what it's going to do is it's going to have the class video of the entire thing. But then if they just want to listen or look at different coaching cues on those movements, they can click on these inside the app to see those, right? But once I save it, it's always there. And you can build this exercise library out as much as you would like. Give it as many categories, change our stuff, edit our stuff, do whatever you like to do with it. Now, once you're comfortable with how your programs or categories are laid out to the end user, how you're structured to program things easily, and you've got the exercises that you want in here, usually it's a constantly growing and changing thing, then we've got options for, programs. So I'm just going to start by adding a program, and we're going to say demo program 6/9/2021. Okay, and I can add the description of the program. This will really depend on how you're using the program. If you're using the program to resell, right, you'll want to fill out as much of this as you can, because inside the app, when they go to find the program, that program description and picture will be here, or the video will be there on, right there. So they would know what it is before they sign up for it. And then you can put it in the category. Again, these are those folders that people will see. Just so I can find it, I'll put it in on demand. Visible to members. So if yes, members will see this program listed in the browse programs area. I'm going to put yes, and self sign up is, can they sign up themselves? I'm just going to put yes as well. Now down here, you can put related programs. So they'll be able to link back and forth between the programs with this. So if an example of that could be if somebody starts with a beginner program, and then there's an intermediate program and an advanced program, you could link the other programs together so they can kind of go back and forth between them. And changing the programs, but keeping the same date. So, if they start with beginner and then they move to advanced at the end of it, then they can keep moving from there. Down here, you can do members only, right? And you can actually restrict to a specific membership type. So if you're selling the program and, this at-home program membership is the only one that can have access to this program, they'll have to purchase that membership before they can actually get the program itself. So I'm just going to hit save. Now I can do a couple of different things here. I can add a day and start from scratch, right? I can copy days. So let's say, this is my program. Let's go. Nope, I don't want that. Let's go back to programs. So I'm just going to go to my at-home program. So let's say I wanted to start with these 30 days, right, with my new program. I'm just going to copy days. I'm going to do 1 through 30. And I'm going to copy that over to my demo. I've got a lot of programs in here. Put it at the bottom. There it is. Demo program. And I'm going to start, because there's only one day, I'm going to start it on day 2. And I'm going to copy it. Boom. So So now that program that I just created now has 31 days because I liked different pieces of different programs that I've built. But I'm just going to go to day 1. Now here, you can put a carb level. So if you're kind of blending it with the nutrition piece of it, this will explain how many carbs based upon the macros that they were giving, what kind of days they're looking at. But I'm just going to add a set. Now there's a couple of options when you hit add set here. You can either have it as a section, A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. You can make it a warm up. You can make it a cool down. You can make, and then this is adding different items to that particular section, right? So we're just going to say warm up, and I'm just going to go to my strength, select an exercise, and I'm going to go with, let's see if I put any warm ups in here. Nope. I know I got some in here. We're just going to say, let's just say that's a warm up. I'm going to put that in there. They're going to do it one time through, and I'm going to hit add. Right, then it's in there at the top. Let's go with this. Oh, there it is. I know I put it in here. Now, inside of this, I'll go over the cardio one first, and then I'll go over the strength one next. But time restrictions, this is approximately how long it should take them to do it, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, if you put one on there. You can make it reps, make it timed, or to failure, depending on what you're looking to do. You have different units here as well that you can track. So you can, whichever one that you would like to use there. Now, these notes are only going to be specific for this day and this particular time that you program this exercise. So it'll still have all the notes that you put in there for the exercise, but the notes will be, you know, this is a low intensity warm up for the day, right? Whatever it is. And I'm going to hit add. Now, once you've programmed this stuff, you can move these around. So if you don't put them in the right order, that's not a big deal, right? You can do that. I'm going to take this out. You can add a rest day or a particular rest. So if this isn't a full rest day, let's say after the warm-up, I want them to take a 10-minute rest. I don't know why you do that, but, and stretch. Next thing, option that you have a note section. So in this note section, you can give it a title. So I've used this tip of the month. Let's not do that one. Let's see here, daily nutrition tip, right? And my nutrition tip is drink tons of water. I'm going to explain what those look like here in a second, but I'm just going to hit add. If I do that, it's going to give the title and then whatever notes are there. Now, you can also put a link in one of these. So let's just say you have a blog. Let's go with, I'm just going to pull up a demo blog, and we're just going to say nutrition post, right? I can take that link, add it to the note, and this will be tip of the day. Now, I've got a link inside of that daily tip as well. I'm going to add another set here. We're going to do strength, and we're just going to do back cardio. Now, you can customize these with however many sets that you want. You can make it customized per set. So if it's not like, I don't know, it's 4 sets of, I don't know, 10, right? You don't need to customize that for each individual one. However, if you want a set of 10, set of 8, a set of 6, and a set of 4, you can do that. And let's just say in my example, I'm going to do this percentage based. So I want 80%, 70%, 60%. Oh, I'm going backwards in that. I want 60%, 70%, 80%, and I don't know why we'll say 85%, right? And I'm going to do this for my back squat, right? So that's going to pre-program or put in their numbers based upon where you want them to pull from. So back squat and back squat. And then in this one, I'm going to put make sure to track your 1 rep max or best. And you know what? We're going to add one more set in here. And this is going to be a set of 1. And plus. I'm going to hit add. Perfect. And let's just say in this particular section, I'm also going to, I don't know, make them do that burpees. Cool. I'm going to do that. Perfect. And then at the end, I want them to do a, let's see if I got any classes in here. And then I'm going to have them do this shred class based upon the video. And I'm not even going to put those in there. There's one. And then at the end, I'm going to have them cool down. And that cooldown is going to be there we go. Some low intensity steady state cardio. Cool. And I'm not going to put any notes in this. And I'm going to have it timed, and I want them to do it for 15 minutes. Cool. And then I'm going to hit save. Once you have the program built out, however you want, right, you can enroll a user manually. So I'm just going to enroll someone. I'm going to enroll myself so I can demo it. I think this is the one. And I'm going to have it start as of today. Cool. So on the enroll programs part, there's a couple of ways people use this. If you attach it to a membership, when somebody purchases that membership, they can add and start and restart that program at any given time, right? They just have to do it inside of their app. If you're using it for the entire gym programming right now, what I recommend doing is the program, just put the start date that you have it set for. So let's say we started doing the program as of today. I'm going to just show a better example of this. Let's say we started it on the 1st, right? And a new member starts today, and I want to make sure that they're on the same program with everybody else as of today. When I enroll them, right, and let's just say theoretically I did start it on the 1st, I could do my start enrollment period, always put it for that same date as when I started the program. That way, we'll just say Victor, when I hit save, that person would be on the same day as everybody else, as long as you have the same start date. A lot of times I'll even do something like this so it's easier. I always put the 0 in there. The reason why is because when I go to enroll somebody, I can enroll them. Let's just say the new person, because they're always at the top. I can just take that, copy it, paste it, and it brings me to that place. And then I can hit save. And I know that person, next time they pull up the app, will be in that same date. So we're just going to say, I'm going to edit him and put him on the 1st 2. See how they're both on day 9 if they started in the program at that particular time, right? If you're selling it externally or having extra stuff, good example of this is I get people asking about half marathon programming, and I hate writing half marathon programs. You could write a half marathon program once, charge $50 for it, and just sell it to your members whenever they want it. I know a lot of functional fitness facilities are people that want to do like accessory work, Olympic lifting, or competition prep or something like that. You could program it, and then when that person wants it, they can buy it, or you can go ahead and just write it out. Let's say it's a 4-month or 16-week competition prep program. You could write it all out and then sell it to people, and they start on day one whenever they want to start on it. So it's an easy way to lock it down. Now, when you build this out and you assign it to a user or they purchase it or something like that, what it looks like to them, let's see if I added it to the right profile here. Oh, yep, I did. Oh, I accidentally restricted it to that specific membership. We're not going to restrict it. Save. There we go. Program. So I'm just going to go to the first day because this is what we built out. Just a bunch of random stuff. So it's not exactly the way that you would do it, but I like to show it this way. But this is showing that particular movement off. You can have the video that's available there. I'm going to go to this one that I always, let's see, there we go. Here's a little bit better example because it has a history of it. But you can click on this. You'll see any weights that have been associated with them, reps. Most people don't know it, but this can be free form. So let's say 100 pounds. Let's say I just used I don't know what Bentley jackknife is, but I used the band, right? And instead of 12 reps, I did 10. And I can do that same thing, 90 and 25. And I'm going to hit save. Now, if they click on this little history button, it'll show them a history of every time that they've ever done that particular movement or that particular workout. If you've got the 1 rep maxes built in there, it would put in the 1 rep max percentage weight based upon the percentages that you've given them. And this is where that substitute and related exercises are before they hit save. Going back to the demo that we just built. Give you an idea of that tip of the day, right? This just links over to that blog that you could do inside of that program section. This is a good example because I've got the weights in there. This shows the description of everything that we wrote in there. The notes are based upon what they were today. And this is the cardio that I want them to do. And this is the shred class. And they're just going to watch this video if it had a video. And you can build as many programs as you'd like. Now, a couple of things that are on the dev board right now for the program section is when you go to build it, right now, it's based upon a day, and it's not live, right? There's two additional options that we're going to be developing and pushing out in the next month or so, maybe sooner than that, but I always like to say a month or so, is you can have it by day, like it is now, by calendar day, so it's live, or by completed only. So some good examples of that, it would be more like this calendar. So for tomorrow, I want to program this stuff. And then for Thursday, I want to program this stuff. So that way you don't have to do what I explained by naming it and then having people enroll in those days. It's just if somebody enrolls into it, or you enroll them automatically, or if you sell a membership and that membership gets access to that program because it's the general gym program, when they click on it, it will automatically show that today's date and going forward. So that's option 2. Option 3 is a completed only option. So there'll be like a complete complete for the day button down here. So only until that person hits complete for that workout will it click over to the next day. Some use cases for that one is, let's say you're doing a program that's 3 days a week, and somebody is not sure if they can do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or if they can do it Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, Sunday. They just don't know which 3 days that they can do. Well, in that particular case, if you program, all right, here's the program I want you to do, right? But I don't want you to skip any workouts. So they can do today's workout, do tomorrow's workout, and then let's say they have to take 3 days off because of one reason or another. They can take those 3 days off, and then when they go back to the programs, they're still on day 3 until they hit complete. So those are the two other options in terms of the calendar part of it. The other two things that is being implemented is in each one of these workout sections, there's going to be a notes section at the very bottom of it. So that way, if somebody wants to take notes on it, that they can see a history of it. So let's just say, see if I can find an example of that. We'll just go to burpees, right? So let's say on this notes section, be like, hey, my knee was aching today for some reason or another, so I didn't go very fast. So next time I want to be careful. Or this workout was really easy. I'd like to wear a 20-pound weight vest next time. So next time it's programmed in, they can be like, all right, did I ever do this? Oh, I did it once before and I had knee pain, or I need to level up and wear a weight vest. They can do that. And then finally, a note section at the very bottom so people can take notes for that entire day. The note section for the day will be more important for the coach, because anytime somebody saves a result on these workouts or these exercises, it will actually show up on the back end under their profile. Under records, programs, this is the programs that I've done, right? And I'm just going to click on history, and it'll show a history of the days that I've completed and anything that I inputted in for those particular workout or that exercise. And then if I put notes in there, it would show up here, right? Or if it's notes for the day, it would say 6/9/21, the day that the program was programmed, the date that they completed it, and then the note down there so you can actually read it. So the client can keep notes on it as well as the coach can actually see it as well. Anybody use the program section a little bit differently, or have any recommendations out of the gate to make the program section better? Then we had a few people drop off.
Hey, Josh. Can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead, Darren.
So the only thing I've ran into is as I'm building days, sometimes I end up wanting to move days around. Like if I programmed it originally as day 2, but I end up wanting it to be day 4 or 5, then I have to like totally erase all the days to get them in the right order.
The one thing, I'm going to throw something out there to you because that has come up. And I'm glad you said that. I'm going to find this picture if I can find it. We'll bring this one over. So we're bouncing around ideas for something like this, right? Zen Planner is terrible, but I like their calendar view. When it goes live, or in general, have something that looks like this, and then where you can actually just copy the day, or you can just grab the day and move the day around. So it's almost like an interactive kind of thing. Do you think that would help that particular situation?
Yeah. Moving the days around would be perfect, because that's the only thing that stinks about it is, you get 20 days built out or whatever, and then you think, man, I really want day 14 to be day 18, and you just have to erase everything you just did.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, as it sits right now, if there'd be a good way of doing that. Let's see, copy days. Let's just say copy day 25 to day 3, right? So right now, this is the way that you would probably do that. So let's say we'll just say day 31. Let's just say you're like, oh, day 3, I would have loved this workout that I just programmed, I would have rather had on day 3. And we'll just say day 31 was what I did. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and copy day 31 and put it in day 3. And then what happens is this, if I did it right, should, be the same. Is it the same? Rest day. What day did I put it on here? Well, let's try that out. All right, so this is the one that I changed and switched up. So this is day 2. Let's go with a better example. Let's try it out. Oh, we won't forget that one. So lateral, so day 23. So let's say day 23 is the one that you want. So we're going to copy days, and we're going to say 23 and 23, and to start starting day number. So we're just going to say day 3. There we go. So I did it right. And then theoretically, you could just go and, because it pushes everything out, right? So day 23 is day 24 now. So you can either leave it there or just delete this day. And now you just moved it in there. So you only have to delete one opposed to all of them as it sits right now. Long term, ideally, we'd like to have a calendar that looks something like this, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or an actual calendar view, right? Depending on which one that you have, where you can just click copy, or you can just grab it and kind of move it around. Kind of ideal. But in the short term, that would be the way that I would do it. Especially if you get like 40 days of programs built out and you're like, crap, I'd really like to have something on day 2 different. Just do it that way. Mike, I know you got some feedback.
I think the only thing I was having that content builder, editor, like Word doc thing available in the program as well as the Watt calendar.
Yes, so that is one option, especially when the live portion comes into play.
Yeah.
Is we want to be able to essentially be like, maybe something over here where you just click on it and it brings up that basic content block.
Yeah.
And then you can add it that way.
And also, I think we had this discussion in the Facebook meeting or Messenger that the fitness culture has the video available at the top of the program block. So I believe I tried putting the embedded video in notes, and it doesn't work. Because if you go to the iPhone view and you go to the program, the only way to get that blue button or that blue video button is to have it as an actual exercise.
And you're looking to have like the workout, the workout at the very top of it?
Yeah. So if you clicked on like the warm up or whatever you put on there, just have the video embedded in that as well, like at the top of this page.
So, so you're thinking,
so I mean, if you click on warm up, it'll show the warm up, and then you also have the video up top of the actual visual.
So something like that.
Yes.
Right at the very top of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Because I think I mentioned it before, the way I'm doing it, because technically the programming doesn't work for my program at all, because I usually do like intervals, and there's no option for an interval in any of those categories. So I just go to the enable to be able to put the video in nicely. I go to the exercises, add it as the entire workout as an exercise, and embed the video right there. Yep. And then when I go back to the actual data program, I click on strength and just add the exercise.
Yep.
Basically.
And then in your particular case, it'd be something like this, right? It would just have the one movement.
Yep.
And then they could watch the video.
Yes.
Or they can click into it and see the description.
Exactly.
Of the workout.
Yep.
And ideally, you would just like to have that video up here opposed to down here.
Yeah. Just because it's more direct. And I think for a lot of times in my programming, you can like list out a bunch of shit and people are going to be like, it's nonsense to a lot of them. Right. So it's nice for them to like see it, but in reality, unless they know exactly what the hell they're doing, they won't realize it until, they just watch the video and like, oh, that's what that exercise is. You know what I mean?
Right. I know. I always tell people, give the word description, but also make a video, because depending on the person, they may or may not read, or they kind of skim over it and miss the finer points, and they may actually watch a video opposed to that. But I'll definitely ask about that for sure. Any other recommendations here?
I don't have any.
Mike,
actually, I do.
Yep.
To be able to have the program as an add-on that's not attached to an actual membership. So I'll basically get like an a la carte one-time sale.
So the question would be, how do you give that to the client?
So let's say,
how would the client use the program?
So Josh is looking for a kettlebell program, a 4-week kettlebell program, right? Josh finds Precision Kettlebells. Okay. All he wants to do is buy a one-time 4-week kettlebell program for $60.
Okay.
I want to be able to click on the program, click on which one I wanted, buy it right then and there.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, so after I buy it, how do you want the end user to consume that program?
Well, this app.
And then do you want to give them access to that program forever?
Yep.
Okay.
But not linked to like any like membership, because you live, in California, I'm in Pennsylvania, you're never going to come to my gym. So all that stuff's unnecessary. So, and basically it's because it's easier to sell this than it is to create an ebook and like just send them a PDF and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to think, because that'll be a little bit more difficult. It seems like it'd be simple, but it's be a little bit more difficult because the core of the app itself, just to get access to the app in general, for anything in it is membership based, right?
Yeah.
So I see exactly what you're saying. Especially if you're using the WOD calendar, because you're giving them access to the WOD calendar too.
Yeah. That's another reason why WOD calendar membership option would have come into place?
I'll bring it up and see what they say. See what kind of obstacles there are. Because once the dev team and the success team kind of talk through the hurdles of developing something, then we can start talking about how we want it to look and function and kind of work through based upon those hurdles. It may be something super simple, right? Almost like an internal, when they purchase it at the point of sale, it's like an automatic membership that doesn't have a waiver or anything. So it still can function on the back end the same way, but the end user experience is, I just purchased it, all of a sudden I get this little link to get the app and the program's right there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll talk through it for them for sure.
Do you know if there's a way like you can redirect after they purchase? It's like a unique URL.
No, but depending on, I think I showed you, a lot of people will, because it redirects them automatically to their account.
Yeah.
Because usually on the account, we require a waiver. I think that's why it was originally designed that way, is so that way they can go there and sign whatever waivers that are required, add their payment information if they didn't already do so, that kind of thing. But I know some online coaches have been adding the new links or the next things that they want to do in that dashboard section. Because in the dashboard section, you have global, which will go on the app and the account dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
You've got just the account dashboard and you've got just the app, right? So in that particular case, it could be, I'll just say step one, just I'm not sure what your options are, but step two, add program, right? And step three, complete check-in. And you can hyperlink these to whatever you want them to click on.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to hit save. And then notice that I didn't change the app, but this is the page that they get redirected to after purchase, and it could have those steps in there.
Okay.
But I wonder, and I can always bring this out and see, but on all the forms as redirect after submission.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way that we could do, like, basically put that in.
Yeah, membership type.
Right here.
Yeah.
So redirect after self sign up and have it default to account. But if somebody says yes, they can put whatever link they want in there.
Yeah, brilliant.
Huh. Darren, you got any feedback on that?
Sorry, I missed what I missed that last part. Say that again.
Oh, you're fine. Mike sells some programs online, and he would like them to be redirected to something different when they purchase the membership or purchase something. And so my thought was something like we have under forms, like this redirect after submission. Maybe it could be redirect after self sign up, and put that option kind of like right here. So as you build the membership, you can have it redirect and go anywhere you wanted to.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Because especially for me, because like everybody in the gym just has an app only membership because our door system is different than FitHive. So yeah, them being able to just purchase would be really nice.
Yeah. So Darren, what door system do you guys use?
The software is called Gym Assistant, and I looked at possibly changing because I know you guys released not long ago that you were trying to integrate that with FitHive,
Yep.
but I haven't looked to see like how much that's going to cost. Because like our system was like $2,000 or something. So
yeah.
Right now, like when I get a new member in, I have to give them access to the door, which is on Gym Assistant software. But then if I don't copy that over to FitHive, then they don't have any access to anything in the app or the website or anything. So,
because is it app based or is it card or key fob based?
It's a key fob.
Oh, nice. If you do look into it, FitHive integrates with Passport Technologies and Hybrid AF. Hybrid AF is app-based only. Passport Technologies is app-based, and then it can all be in one app and one software. It'd basically be under here, where you can track everybody accordingly.
Okay.
Open doors and everything else if you ever wanted to. I know the monthly for Passport, I think, is like $40 a month for unlimited users, I think. But the hardware cost just ranges so much depending on what you want and how you're set up. I've been told, just an FYI, if you ever do look into it, that usually they can use the same like wiring. But so that saves a lot on the installation costs and all that other stuff. But usually the box itself needs to be replaced for like the key fob.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I would think that the door lock and all that stuff would just transfer over, or just might have to get a different like reader or something.
Yeah, and I think that is the case. But yeah, if you ever wanted to dive into it, let me know or send me a message, and I'll do an introduction to it. Just so you don't have to have two apps. It's just one. And it'd be nice too because it'd be attached to the billing and stuff. But just a thought. Any other questions, concerns, anything I can, we're about 40 minutes over, but on the programs or the WOD calendar, you can think of?
I don't have anything, but can I pick your brain after this recording's over?
Sure.
For like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Darren, you're welcome to hang on if Mike doesn't mind. If not, thanks for jumping on, and if you have anything, let me know, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, see you, man.